Brilliant. As I said, we are coming to the end of a very exciting week with the final but amazing presentation delivered from Mobcast. It's a mobile platform for microlearning, onboarding, new product launches, and many more use cases that the company has already deployed the solution for. While I have got the founder of the company with me today, but before I hand it over to him, let's understand what's the context of this topic. Why did we select this topic for our DeepTech Innovation Week? We all know about disengaged employees. Everyone speaks about it. Employee engagement is a very important aspect in every single company. Whether you're talking about a small, micro organization with 5 employees, or you're talking about organizations with 100,000 employees, employee engagement is extremely critical. However, if the employees are disengaged, then it has massive amount of repercussions across the company. The percentage more of employees that are disengaged, the more impact it has on an organization. It could be on the sales performance, it could be on customer service. Replacement of the employee, of course, is even more expensive. It of course creates a massive challenge on the company culture, apart from, of course, the individual himself or herself not having been able to go through the career progression or the personal development. So obviously this is a problem, this is a challenge. We've all seen this, we've all heard about it, we've all done something about it in our own ways and terms. I have personally, working for an organization, have personally seen something like a very unconventional management aspect being implemented, which is known as employee first, customer second, where the focus is, if we can take care of our employees, the employees will take care of our customers. Now, of course, we've seen this in a controlled environment, if I use that word, where it was companies which were or employees which were having an office, having desktop or a laptop. They were within the corporate environment. It definitely worked wonders for this company that I used to work for. But then the question is, can it work for a deskless employee? A deskless employee on the field, can it work for them? And can deep tech, which is of course machine learning, AI, robotics, make a difference in the employee engagement? That's the big question that we are asking today. And I'm very glad to introduce you all to Ashwin Roy Chowdhury. He is the founder and CEO at Mobcast, an entrepreneur, and has worked with multiple technology companies before embarking on this entrepreneurial journey. He's been at it for the last 7 years with Mobcast. Incredible platform, very successful platform. Close to 1 million users today are on this platform. And we would love to hear from him, his journey, as well as what's the change that he can bring in, or his platform can bring in, for deskless employee engagement. But before we do that, we have a quick poll we want to run for all the audience so that we can know you a bit better. Can my team have the poll, please? Fabulous. The poll's on your screen. And may I request you all to give your preference with regards to the poll. It's quick, 3 questions. I'm sure it will be quick for you. We'll wait for short seconds. It's an interesting question being asked anyways. Okay, we'll just wait for 10 more seconds. We've got a good number of you who voted. Close to 75% of you have already voted now. So we will end the poll. Thank you very much for your response. Can we also share the results with everyone to see? Ashwin, if I can have you online, please. And hey, Ashwin.
Hey.
That's the audience in front of you today.
Wonderful. I've quite expected this to turn out in a similar way. So firstly, thank you, Sandy. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, and namaste. I'm Ashwin Roy. I'm the founder of Mobcast. Sandy, I'm going to share my screen. Would you allow me to? So what we are going to do today is I'm going to break today's session into 4 parts, wherein we're going to start with why do we exist and why do we do what do we do. We'll move on to, at Mobcast, what are the 4 top innovations we've done over the last few years and which is work in progress. I'll give you a sample of one of the innovations that we've done, and we've ended with question answer rounds, right? I think 7 years back when I started, HR tech was relatively an alien concept. But there are a couple of stats that kind of surprised me and got me hooked to what we're doing, right? First being 80% of the global population, and this is global working population is 4 billion people, right? Are deskless employees. Now, how do I define deskless employees? These are people who are working in retail stores, these are insurance agents, these are factory workers, these are people who do not have access to traditional desktops or laptops for access. And that is 80% of the people, right? A very big market. And less than 3% of the spend or effort is spent on that. Now, if you look at the gap, you realize there is a very big potential for people who do not have access to traditional systems. And these are guys who will have mobile with them. So there is a very big opportunity that lies in that space of deskless employees and bringing technology to them. Third thing that was very clear is from a work standpoint and a workplace standpoint, geography has become irrelevant. It's become history. And COVID in the last 2 years have accelerated how irrelevant geography is. Now, I don't even call it a remote workplace. The world is moving towards a completely distributed workspace. For a company as small as ours, even we have people working from 10 different cities in India, and we've got our designers in Ukraine who is working. So the clear trend was companies will go to an extent where over the next few years, it's going to be a completely distributed model where you're not fighting for resources in the Silicon Valley or Bangalore and paying them and competing with the likes of Amazon and LinkedIn to get the same resource where you could get this resource, the same resource at half the rate in tier 1, tier 2 cities, right? However, the distributed architecture also has a very big challenge that it comes with, right? When you're not working out of office, you are missing the motivation. How do we collaborate? How do we ensure the teams are working together? How will we give direction to them? So the relevance of bringing in a technology that kind of bridges the gap and acts like a virtual office becomes very, very high, right? Second thing that we observed is while we were doing our research, we figured out that there were multiple HR systems, but everything was very ugly. Most enterprise systems were built for web and squeezed into mobile because people had started using mobile. So we wanted to bring in a beautiful mobile-first approach, field-first approach, technology-first approach to HR tech, and that's where the journey began. And the last piece where we actually got into this space is, if you look at all the companies, any large company is going through, to stay relevant in today's world, you have to go through a complete digital transformation exercise, but I think they're doing it all wrong, right? Most digital transformation exercises starts with the customer and then it goes to the employee. We firmly believe that any digital transformation exercise is futile if you are not considering the input of any organization first, which is your employees. It has to go inside out. Unless you're magically, digitally transforming the experience points for your employees, you're never going to have an experience that is going to delight your customers. As Sandy rightly showed, the HCL CEO rightly mentioned that employees first and customers later is the mantra. In fact, Richard Branson had something similar wherein he very clearly mentioned that if you're keeping your employees happy, they're going to keep your customers happy. And there is a very relevant survey that that was recently done by Great Workplaces, wherein they said, and it is proven that people or companies with happier employees have 3x the revenue of people with disengaged employees. And they've done 2x better in the stock market as well. So I think there is a very, very tangible benefit of spending time, effort, resources in transforming the experience for your employees. And that employee has to be the goal of your digital transformation exercise. That brings us to what we do. So Mobcast is an employee OS. The idea is we think every person has infinite potential. We as a company build technologies that helps bridge the gap between their potential and their performance. I think the idea is how do we help people become the best versions of themselves? And we think there are 3 key elements to this entire picture. How do we help upskill and reskill the worker? In today's digital age, I think it's very important for each one of us to keep upgrading ourselves, keep upscaling, and doing it in a fun manner. Typically, it gets quite boring at the end of it if you're not able to provide a gamified platform for people to upskill and learn more things. Second is, how do I engage with people? How do I make my organization a living organization? How do I make it live? How do I ensure my organization is listening to your employees? How do I ensure they care for their employees? How do I ensure collaboration is there? How do I ensure people are celebrating together? How do I make it more fun for people to stick around with the organization later? How do I make employees fall in love with their company? So that was the second piece we're trying to solve. And third is the productivity suite, wherein we realize if the employee is engaged and he is very skilled, the only thing that he needs is help and support, which eliminates the redundant tasks that he's doing. So we built a complete virtual assistant around it, and which I'm going to share with you. So what we've done for today's presentation is picked up 4 innovations and 4 problem areas that we see and how we are solving it, right? So I'll start with a small detail about the company. So we've been fortunate in the last 6 years. We right now serve close to 1 million users. We are the highest rated HR tech app, a business tech app on the App Store in Asia. We work with some of the largest companies, whether it's in BFSI, retail, FMCG, hospitality. So we've covered it also. There is a genuine interest from large companies in a platform, something that we've already built. Now, the first problem area is learning. Traditionally, in fact, till now, most learning engagements which are driven by companies are quite blanket in their approach. So Ashwin, Sandy, or anyone in the company will be thrown the same set of content, which is boring. Every person needs to have its own personal journey. We completely reimagined the way learning works, and we thought that no 2 people can have the same career progression, no 2 people can have the same learning journey. So we built something called as LearnX. Now, LearnX is something you would imagine like something a Google Maps for your career progression, wherein at any point in time, I know where do I stand. I know what my aspiration is. So if you look at screen 1, here is Richard, who's the assistant sales manager of a company. He wants to become a general manager. These are the only 2 inputs I need to put in. And the moment I click on submit, our system will carve a completely personalized career graph for you. It will tell you how much, like a Google Maps, where it can tell you what is the route you can take, how much time it will take you. We do a similar work where it will tell you what are the steps you need to take, what are the courses you need to go through, what is the target you need to achieve. So for you to become very clear in if I want to become a general manager, these are the 10 things I need to do over the next 3 years. So that is, and there is a lot of technology that's gone behind it. So we've got a completely beautiful engine that I'm going to talk about, but this is the journey for an employee to know where he wants to go and how can he go there. The real magic happens in our recommendation engine called Pulse. Now, what we do here is our AI understands and picks up 80+ different signals from across the board. wherein when I say me, it is picking up what are you as an employee, what is my demographic, how much experience do I have, where have I skilled, what is my educational qualification. It picks all those data points and it matches with what is required for the role. And when I say role, it will set an industry benchmark. For example, a GM, how many years of experience need he? What is the skill set that the GM requires to have? What is the kind of deals he needs to crack? So we match that with the industry benchmark and also the benchmark of someone who's been in that position within the company. So all those detail and data points collate and then reflect, and that is based on which we give the recommendations. Now, the third interesting part is what we call as live loop, which means even if there are two people who have similar aspirations, who are at the same post, they might still have a different journey based on their adaptability to learning. So I might want to, so if I'm not very comfortable with English, I might take an English speaking course or a mail writing course in 3 months, whereas someone who's very good with communication can do that same thing in 1 month. So based on the personal traits of the person, we reskill and we send a different recommendation based on his qualification. Second is a feedback loop. Based on the performance of every individual across his tenure during the organization, we pick up cues that helps him and that helps the system know whether he is going to stick around longer. So our system then gives a bucket on HIPPOs, which is high performance individuals, and separates them into these are the kind of people you need to focus on more. So as a company, as a HR head, as a business head, you would like to know which are the guys who want to stick, whom you want to actually spend resources on because they're going to stick with your company longer. They're going to perform better. So those kind of categories is defined by a system and smart engine. So this is something very unique that we do, wherein we craft a personalized journey for every employee in the company with the experience and the expertise that we have. The second is gamification. How do we make it more interesting for employees to embrace learning? Learning is typically a very boring process. So we built in game mechanisms where everything that we do, we get certain points. Based on points, there is a complete leaderboard. I can challenge my friends on certain skill sets. I can compete with people. So we've completely gamified the entire experience, and happy to share that currently across 1 million users, we've got a 96% traction on the assessments that are sent on our platform. So this is about the learning. The second piece that I'm going to talk about is something that we've recently done. How do we ensure a safer workplace for employees? And this is specifically from a point of view of COVID. So we've done two things here, right? One is we built a COVID alert system. Typically, our system will identify. So we've integrated our app with Arogya Setu, which is the government app, wherein our platform is the only platform in India where you could possibly upload an Excel sheet of all employees, and it will give you results in terms of how many of your employees are currently suffering from COVID, so that you can drive in resources to help them. This not only solves the problem of health, but also for people who are visiting your office as visitors. If you're running a retail outlet, you do not want a COVID infected person to come in the retail outlet. So what our system does is you just enter the mobile number. It will tell you whether the person has been infected, whether he's recovered, what stage is it in, so that you can safeguard the interest not only of your other customers, but your employees as well. So that is one area that we worked on. Second is we built, with the help of Tata, we built a COVID helpline. I think there's it's very clear that with the kind of things that are happening around the world, the depression rate is going to go 2x in the next 3 years across the globe. How do we solve for that? How do we help our employees, give them a channel where they can talk to professionals and seek help, and that too anonymously? So we've got a helpline where all our customers, employees can call, talk to professionals. There's a dedicated call center where you can talk to professionals, and it is completely anonymous, and it's in 10 different Indian languages, right? Happy to share that we typically, the stats that we've got is on a day-to-day basis, we get some 40 odd calls from people who are concerned, who are not doing well, and they call the call center to get help. I think that's like a big move for companies to address this kind of service and give it to their employees. The third challenge is problem of plenty. I think every large company typically has 6 to 7 different systems that as an employee, I have to go through while I join the company. Right from your onboarding system, there's a different system for learning, for attendance, leave approvals. How do you expect an employee to have so many apps, or how do you expect an employee to navigate through so many? So it's a problem plenty, and which most companies are facing. I think what we've done is we built a very easy, simple to use chatbot that talks to your 10 different systems and gives you all the relevant information that you need in a language that you are able to tell you. So you don't need to learn a 10th new software when it's being introduced to the company. So the chatbot is called Aura, wherein right from marking your attendance, taking your leaves, having your OKR systems in place, having your to-do list, getting any kind of information from any of the corporate databases, knowing your product collaterals, applying for reimbursements, everything can be done using a single platform. So this completely takes away your hassle, and you can do it on mobile. You don't need to have to log in into 10 different systems to be able to do it. And it's done in a way where it's beautiful, it's approachable. You can also run polls on the same system. So one, for smaller companies who do not have these 10 systems, they can use our platform as a sole platform where we also have our backend. But two, we also can integrate it with any system that you're currently using, so that it takes away the pain from an employee's list. So this becomes like a single point complete app to take care of all your employee needs, right from the time they join the company till the time they exit. The last piece is workplace collaboration. I think we all are using WhatsApp, Slack, Teams, and other such channels to communicate, talk to our colleagues, team that. But I think there are two significant challenges these platforms have, right? One is security. I think it's very easy for me to take a clear screenshot of the platform, share it with it. And we've had a case in the past where one of the senior guys who was a part of the WhatsApp group was still in the part of the, even he had left the organization 6 months back, and he had access to all the content, all the conversations that were happening, which was very specific to the company, right? So our platform, our chat platform is completely secured. It resides in your servers. You can't take a screenshot. It's completely encrypted. Two is the problem of spam. We all have that one person or two people in the company who would like to send us good morning messages, good evening messages, all the forwards, all the information about COVID. So I think any workplace platform, how do we segregate meaningful conversations from forwards and stuff? So we built a system that is again very unique to us, wherein what we're trying to address is how do we encourage meaningful conversations in a group chat platform. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you a live demo of this. Before that, I'll just introduce a simple concept of Talk Wallet. So what our system does is every day when you mark your attendance, you get a wallet or some credits. If you look at the screen on the top right, you will see some numbers, 10, 17, 30, right? Those are the number of credits I have in my Talk Wallet. So every time I try to chat, every time I write something, some of the credits are debited. What it means is every individual in the company has only X amount of conversations he can have on a particular day. Now, this greatly discourages people to send irrelevant messages in the work group. We've done a pilot with a company in 17 countries, and we've seen the irrelevant messages coming to almost zero. Second interesting thing we've done is image recognition, wherein we've realized that a lot of people who would not tag the image properly. So our system will recognize the image that you send and automatically tag it based on our AI. So I'm going to give you a live demo of this platform right now. Allow me to stop sharing and just give me a minute. So I hope everyone is able to see the screen, right? So this is an app that I was talking about, which is a combination of a chatbot and a conversation platform. So the way it works is, if you look at, there is a menu which allows me to do attendance, leaves, onboarding. There are multiple functionalities, and this kind of talks to all the other systems. So for the sake of this demo, I'm going to just mark my attendance right now. So I just do a mark in.
Ashwin, I'm just wanting to make sure that I think the screen is frozen.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we are getting the response from the audience as well that the screen is frozen.
So are you able to see the mobile screen or not at all?
No, we can't see the mobile screen at all. So you maybe want to reshare, bring it down and bring it up, please.
So let me stop sharing this and again reshare.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yes, we can see it now.
You can see it now? Perfect.
Yes.
So what I did right now is I just did a mark-in wherein it automatically took my location, the time that I'm marking in, and it marked myself in, and this is connected to a different HRMS where it goes out. I will show you the menu so this is the menu where, as a company, as an individual, I can do multiple activities. I can see my monthly summary. I can apply for leave. So let's say if I apply for leave, it will ask me a few questions around. So I can select the dates I want leaves on. It will automatically, what category of leave do I want? I do apply now. It will calculate whether I have enough leaves or not. And accordingly, it will send a notification to my manager. It shows I do not have leaves. Do I still want to continue? Yes, I do. It will send a notification to my manager and my leave is approved. So similarly, a lot of things, a lot of your HR tech things can be done completely during the app, using the app. I'll need to provide a reason. Sick. Okay. So now what second thing that I'm going to share is a chatbot, a chat. So here what happens is I have created multiple groups, right? If you look at these are the groups where I can talk. I'll click on my sales group. Let's say if I say hi. If you look at the top right of the platform, you'll see I've got 105 points right now. The moment I say hi, that moves to 100, which means the amount of talking I can do in this platform is restricted. What also it does is, let's say if someone is, let's say Saurav has sent hi Ashwin, I find his talk relevant, I will just click on the clap button. The moment I click on the clap button, he gets his points back, which means what we're trying to do here is encourage people who are having meaningful conversations and discourage people who not have, who are sending forwards and stuff. It adds a lot of layer. It takes away the pain of going through those forwards. So this is a chatbot platform that we've got. I'll again go back to the screen. So that's about it. That's about the platform that we've got. I'll be open to questions if any.
Yep, sure. Thank you very much, Ashwin. Very, very exciting. So what we will do is let's do a quick poll, and then we will take the question. So let's request everyone, if there is a question that you have to ask to Ashwin, there is a module, Q&A module. Please write your questions, and we'll be very happy to answer them. In the meantime, you are getting questions. You got a poll on your screen right now. Request you all to give your response to that information. Okay, we'll just give another 10 seconds for everyone to give a response. Okay, I think we've got a good number of people who have responded. So, so we'll end the poll and maybe we'll do a quick share of the results for everyone to see, as well as for Ashwin to give a quick reaction.
So here is it, 33% people have more than 5, they're going through more than 5 apps. And which is a challenge, right? As an employee, you can't really expect, as a company, you can't expect employees to go through so many different apps on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Okay, so there is also a question that we have got, Ashwin, and maybe you would want to elaborate on that. In the meantime, we will close the poll. Thank you. I mean, you've obviously shown the employee learning, employee journey, recommendation engine. It's fabulous because now it can be personalized to every individual. You also shown the chat and the entire HRMS system coming on a mobile device, which is very intuitive. So you've shown all that. Does that really mean that you can replace conventional HRM?
Yes, so we've done that for 2 of our customers where they've completely taken their HRMS off and using us for entire end-to-end application. We can, at this point in time, using our chatbot, replace the HRMS function completely.
Oh, awesome. I mean, don't you think, another question is, don't you think restricting the talk time of the employees will encourage them to pursue other platforms for communicating?
So they already are using other platforms to communicate. The intent here was, I think the insight is taken from Twitter. People appear to be smarter on Twitter than on Facebook because if you're restricting your thoughts in X number of characters, you need to be precise with what you're writing. And we've done research for 6 months. We've spoken to 27 different companies to figure out what is their challenge that they're facing in their current workplace and why are they not encouraging WhatsApp and stuff. And the number one answer that we got was spam messages, which is forwards, jokes, political messages. How do I control that? And typically there's no way to control it in any other format. So the idea was if we are able to restrict or keeps up capping, psychologically it puts the pressure on you to send things that are relevant. So that's the insight we got.
Fabulous. Ashwin, you also mentioned that your platform is used across 17 countries, multiple, close to 1 million users which are currently using your platform. What does that really mean from a feature standpoint? Is it that all the features are being used, or there are a few modules being used? What's the uptake like?
Beauty of the platform, it's an a la carte model. You can pick and choose things that are relevant to you at this point in time. So we've got organizations who are taking only onboarding modules from us. We've got organizations who are taking only learning modules from us. So as an organization, you can pick and choose things that are most relevant to you at that point in time. Then on a click of a button, you can upgrade. So when I say upgrade, so today, if your 10,000 workforce is using only onboarding, tomorrow you want to give them learning, engagement, discovery, stories, and other modules. All you need to do as a company is checkbox one link on the web interface, and tomorrow all the employees, when they get up, they'll see multiple modules on the mobile app without having to download or upgrade anything. So that's how it works.
Got it. You also showed your recommendation engine with regards to the journey of the from a learning standpoint. What really happens, right? Because if I have to wait for, if I have to move from one position to the other, if I have to progress in the company, it's obviously going to take time. It's going to take about 3 to 4 years for me to reach there. In the meantime, while you will give me the journey, what happens? Can the platform also do course correction, just like in Google Maps?
Yes,
tell us that.
Yes, it does. In fact, like the way I showed you in the presentation, we capture live feedback on a day-to-day basis of that particular employee's journey. For example, you and I are taking the same course and you take longer to complete the course than me. Then you will be given a similar course, but of a lower level, and I will be progressed to the next course. So this platform on a real-time basis does evaluate what you're doing. Secondly, what we do is there is a skill cloud which evaluates which skill are more relevant to you. For example, if today email marketing is the most relevant thing that any lead generation person needs, tomorrow that could be LinkedIn marketing, day after tomorrow it could be HubSpot or anything else. So we keep on upgrading those skill tags and match it to your skill sets and accordingly give you. So it's not a static roadmap that you get. The roadmap keeps changing based on what the feedback we get from the market and based your consumption and behavior within the company.
Fabulous. Ashwin, we started this entire conversation by talking about 80% being deskless employees, people on the field. Mobile is the only device that they have in reality for all kinds of engagements and things like that. Your platform is mobile first, I'm assuming. That's where it largely gets consumed, or it also gets consumed on the web device?
Yes, our platform till a year back was mobile only. That's the bet we had taken. Now it's mobile first. We also have a web interface, but 93% of the consumption happens on the mobile.
Fabulous. You also mentioned 96%, if I got that number right, of
Yes.
engagement on your assessment. Give us a view on how organizations are using the micro-learning / assessments to their advantage.
So what happens is, so we work across different domains, right? Whenever customers are launching new products, giving new processes, today, people do not have the time to go through half an hour's comm content, right? So what they do is they create micro learning content pieces, small learning content pieces, whether these are images, small videos, audio files, images, and they'll broadcast it to all the users and follow that with an assessment. On the assessment, if you are able to score beyond a particular person, you get a certificate you can share with your friends and family, and all that is done. So all product launches happen in two ways. One, the person who's managing the product will go live, address the complete audience. I'll share with you an example that happened day before. We have an insurance client that was launching a product to 26,000 people live. This included their employees, dealers, distributors. So the product had actually gave a live demo of the product. He told what the product is, what is the USP of the product. There are 16,000 participants live on that call. Post the call, there was a product presentation that was shared with all the employees. Today morning, they had run a survey and a quiz of the product. They wanted to get a feedback. And on Monday, they will do another set of quiz just to gauge the understanding of people about that product. So the entire launch end-to-end happened on the mobile platform, because otherwise it's very difficult. Typically, for that insurance company to launch a product and let it known by all the dealers and distributors would take them a 2.5 3 month cycle, because they would train the trainers, and the trainers would go to different locations. They would again train, then there's assessment process. It's a long process. And so now they can do it online in a couple of days.
Oh, that's fabulous. Does that mean that you are the only company in this field which is doing this, or do you have competitors in?
So like I said, we are an employee service. There are multiple parts of what we do which is done by multiple companies. So there are learning companies, there are engagement companies, there is a chatbot, there is a team communication platform. The challenge, however, remains that are you able to provide that one-stop destination for your employees where you can do everything under one app, which is the problem that where I think we are only players for solving.
Got it. I would also assume, Ashwin, that looking at the platform, the way you've also shown it is that if you look at large enterprises like large pharma companies, large banking companies, for their desk employees, which are people who are in their offices, and things like people like those, for them, they may have a different HRMS. They may have a different CRM, for example. They may be using Salesforce.com for all that matter. But for those who are either deskless, which are only mobile based, or who also want to connect with their agents and distributors and people who are not within their company, but they are also, of course, carrying their products or solutions for whatever reason, your platform can extend the capabilities of the existing HRMS and the existing CRM to the deskless employee on the field. Am I right?
Yes, that's perfect. In fact, while a lot of companies are using us for their entire staff and dealers and distributors, there are a few companies who are using a different system for their on-roll or corporate employees and using us for their feet on the street, service-based staff, distributors, dealers, extended force, blue-collar workers.
Fabulous, fabulous. From a language standpoint, how many languages are you supporting at this point in time? And the second follow-up question to that, how easy is it for you to build a new language support?
So we, at this point in time, support 24 different languages. And for us, adding a new language is a day's job. We already have the engine in place to add a new language. So it's a completely multilingual platform. In fact, we have an example of a company called Oyo, which is present in 17 countries. So we've got an app in Japanese, we've got an app in English, we've got an app in local language. So we've got an app in 8 different languages at this point in time that they're using. And for a person, I can choose and select the language of my preference from the profile, and it immediately reflects across.
Which is fabulous. Last question, Ashwin, do you want to give a sense of your commercial model? I'm not asking for the commercial, I'm not asking for exact numbers, but what's your commercial model, number one? How easy is it for anyone who from the audience who wants to actually go in for a proof of concept? How easy will it be for you to actually deploy it? And do you also provide, after implementation support to the enterprises?
Sure. So one, we do offer a 15-day free trial for anyone who wants to get a hang of the platform, and it's a complete suite. So in the trial, you'll get to experience all the modules of the platform in all. Two, the pricing model is a function of 2 things. One is the number of employees that your company has, because it's a per employee per month billing. 2, the number of features that you opt for at the beginning of it. So we've got learning modules, engagement modules, chat and communication, productivity suite. So there are 4 different layers of features that you can choose from. So based on the function that you choose and the number of employees lab, there is a pricing. But it's a SaaS model where we bill you monthly or yearly based on the number of users that you have. And you had one more question, right?
Post-implementation support.
Yes, we have a post-implementation support in the India and US market, European market as well. So we've got a 24/7 call center that we have that is running.
Fabulous. And is there a minimum number of employees required for this platform to make sense?
We've seen most of our customers to be 500+ employee companies. However, we've got 4 customers who are in the range of 100 to 500. I think, given the commercials, I think less than 100 people company, it may not make as much sense to go for a platform like ours, unless they are going only for the communication suite, which is your chat and chatbot, which is the WhatsApp parallel that we have. For which I think even a 10 people company may want to engage in that service.
Got it. One last question. Is there a maximum, what's the maximum user base that you've got from one company at this point in time?
So we have a user base of 110,000 people from one company, 120,000 people from one company.
120,000 people.
Yes,
on your platform, one enterprise. From one enterprise.
In fact, I can name the it's SBI Life. They are India's one of the largest insurance companies where they have extended this platform to their employees and dealers and distributors, which were in large number. So that's the highest number.
So that's at least that's the scale that your platform can take. I'm assuming it can even take 3 times more.
It can take 5 times. We've in fact during COVID suddenly we've had a 400% increase in the number of people that were using the platform. So I think we're completely fine with that. I think platform has been there for 4 years now, 4 years in that scale. So I think our architecture and technology can support any kind of numbers that we want.
Fabulous. Yeah, we're just getting a few questions, but I'll take one last one. You've obviously shown HRMS as a functions platforms that are modules that are built. But what if we want to look at sales modules? We want to look at some other modules on the same platform. Do you have companies which have used something like that? What's your view on that?
We have a lot of companies are using our sales modules as well. So in fact, for example, Sanofi, a global French company, their entire Indian and Sri Lankan operations, they use our platform and as a sales guy, I come to know what are my sales numbers, what is my target, how much have I achieved it, what is the shortfall based on that, what corrective actions do I need to take. So all the sales numbers in a drill down approach, whereas if I'm the CEO of the company, I would get to know on live what are the real sales figures that is happening. Not only that, we've got banks who are collecting all the customer information from nationalized banks with 50,000 employees, which is collecting all the sales information on real time from our app. So all the leads are generated, the entire lead cycle is done on our platform.
Fabulous. Ashwin, it has been incredibly useful. Very, very, very thankful. Thank you for an amazing session today.
Thank you so much. So excited to be here.
Absolutely. I'm sure the audience has also loved your platform. Thank you very much. As I said, thank you everyone who joining in. I want to run a final poll, final feedback poll on this session for the audience to get your reactions about this session. So can I? Yes, thank you. Just 2 questions as always. May I get a quick reaction from all of you coming in? Very good. Fabulous. As we get into reactions, I just wanted to thank every member of the audience to join in today. As I said at the start of the session, this is our last session. We've had an incredibly amazing deep tech week. This was, by the way, our first time that we've conducted this. We've been very, very encouraged by the response that we have got from all of you and many others who joined across various functions, various topics. Day 1 was Industry 4.0. Day 2 was Cybersecurity and Cloud. Day 3 was FinTech. And today we're concluding our sessions with Sales Tech and Ashwin's HR Tech platform. Thank you very much. As we will end the poll now. Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you for your reactions. I will see you later. And thank you very much, Ashwin. Thanks for an amazing session.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.